What do you need to do when you are refinancing a property you've already got in your limited company? So we're just going through two refinances at the moment, and I thought it'd be useful for any of our subscribers to obviously understand the process. But basically, now I've not prepped this or anything like that. Been doing a little bit of admin this morning, and I thought while we're doing it, well, it's fresh in my head. It'd be useful for any subscribers to understand the process if obviously you've never refinanced before, or if you're in a limited company and again you still haven't refinanced and you're considering what to do and what's best. Now, my name's Dervish. I've been an active property investor since 2007, so coming up to 20 years. Got a nice cash flowing portfolio, but you'll notice with my videos there's no hype, no fluff or anything like that. Okay, I'm not going to tell you you'll be able to get rich in 90 days or anything like that. I just provide honest, open feedback, advice really, based on our experience. Okay, so I'm a qualified lecturer, and obviously I founded the Black Belt Property Academy for any aspiring investors who want to learn more and obviously get away from all the fluff and hype, because there's loads out there on social media and YouTube, and try to learn about property in a disciplined, the way I teach it, the way I just teach martial arts. Okay, a disciplined approach, month after month, quarter after quarter, year after year, continually building on the knowledge up here to help all my mentees move forward. Now, if that seems something that you're interested in, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Keep up to date, okay? Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to give you 3 seconds. I think that was 3. And check out my website, dervishdervish.com. My name is Dervish. So check out dervishdervish.com. Have a look at the Black Belt Property Academy. And again, if you're after disciplined, structured, how can I say it nicely? A transformation process rather than just information dump, then apply for the academy. Right, let's get into this now. So, first of all, what is refinance? Okay, so refinancing your property now. We've got 2 going at the moment, but I'm going to talk to you about the one we've got going on in our limited company. We purchased it on June of this year, June 18th, 19th, something like that. We purchased it through bridging finance, so we purchased it at an amazing price. Okay, it was up for over 100. We purchased it at 75, which was fantastic. Okay, and a little tip for that: if you've never watched any of my stuff before, hopefully you have because you've subscribed. There was only one internal picture on Rightmove, which is always good. If it's got one internal picture and it says something like "in need of modernisation," for us that's fantastic, because we know it ticks the BRRR box straight away: buy, renovate or refurbish, refinance, and then rent out. Okay, so just a little tip there. So the property now, we did the refurb. It probably took us just less than 4 months. It was full back to brick. Needed gas central heating installed. It didn't have any gas into the property, so we needed to bring the gas into the property. So therefore, it needed 5 new radiators, brand new boiler, new woodwork throughout, new kitchen, new bathroom, leveled off the kitchen floor. Obviously, in the new woodwork, new handrails, new spindles, new internal doors. False ceiling upstairs as well, because the ceiling had started to sag 5 or 6 inches. And again, check out the video, though I'm not going to go into it all here. Check out I think it's in the From Rec to Rent Ready series. So check out this channel, From Rec to Rent Ready. You'll see how it's moved on along across all the videos. So going back to it, okay. So refinance is when you hopefully pulling out most or a big chunk or all or even more of the money than you put in. So for us now at the moment, we purchased it for 75. We were all in expenses, stamp duty, land tax and everything else for about 81-ish, something like that. And then the refurb was 31, 32. So we had it revalued comfortably at 140. It was an absolute turnkey property, which is obviously what we want when the value comes round, because we want to see that everything is new. So we maxed it out 140. Now we're now going to refinance 75% of that, not 75%. We're refinancing, but we're allowed to then take 70, or we want to take 75% of that out to pay for the existing bridging loan, and then the remaining 25% obviously stays in the property as their equity, or their, how can I say, their buffer, their safety net. So with that 75% we're taking out, which I think is 105,000, that pays off the 85, that pays off 20,000 towards the refurb, and then we've got about 11 or 12,500 pounds of our own money still left in there, which for us we don't mind at the moment, because it's going to give us a return on capital employed of about 30 odd percent. I can't remember the figures at the moment because I know I'm going off topic here. like I do a lot in my videos. Anyway, so I've printed off here everything the solicitor has sent us. Now, with this refinancing at the moment, the lender that we chose, we had to go through one of their solicitors on the panel. We've used these before. They're only based in Leeds, which isn't too far away from us. Now, in this pack of information, we have been given, in the email, mortgage deed. So we will need to sign that, not date it. We will need to sign that. Mortgage information sheets. So with that there as well, there must be a couple of copies. In that mortgage information sheet, they're just going to be saying, have you read the mortgage? They're going to talk to us about our obligation as a borrower and lots of other things there. Okay, they're pretty much obviously going to tell us about independent legal advice, what else, retentions, title deeds, and so on like that. What happens with the money we draw down, they pay off the bridging finance and so on. What else have we got? We've then got a confirmation form, which is for us then to just to tick, yes, we've read this, yes, we've read that, yes, we understood this, yes, we've understood that. So one confirmation one there as well. Now, they've provided us with board meeting minutes. And again, you won't need to do this if you doing refinance in your own name, but you will if you're doing it through a limited company. So instructions for completion of board minutes and resolution there, okay? So that's providing us with instructions on how to carry out the board meetings, because what we should do is, as directors, sit down and say, right, we've chosen to do this with this property, we've chosen this product, and this is what's going to happen with the money once we get the money in, and so on like that. And does everybody agree? And it needs to be signed. What else here as well? Another one. I told you there's lots here. Okay. RE legal advice in respect of personal guarantee. So personal guarantee there. Now, personal guarantee is, we've got it booked in for next week. We need to go into the solicitors. Me and my wife as directors, we need to go into solicitors, where the solicitor will need to go through us. They'll refer to it as an ILA, so independent legal advice. So the solicitors is different than this solicitors that are doing the conveyancing or the refinancing. We need to go there, and then we'll sit down with them and they'll say, do you know that obviously you are still liable if the company folds or anything like that? So if you set up a limited company and then for some reason you decide to fold it, you are still eligible or responsible for that mortgage. Okay, so obviously I can't remember when that came in really, but again, they're just covering their own backs like anybody would do. Now, some of my mentees said they've asked me to do a personal guarantee. Should I, shouldn't I, and so on. You've got to look at it. You probably a moral, ethical person, and you 100% intend to pay the mortgage amount every single month. I'm sure you do. So therefore, sign the personal guarantee to say that yes, you are doing this. Again, you've got to think to yourself, are you going to be professional and have that strong black belt mindset about property investing, or are you just going to try and do it as a little bit of a whim and think, oh, see how it goes and so on? Because that's not the correct mindset. If ever you're going into anything half-assed, the results are also going to be half-assed. So we need to make sure that you've got this correct, strong black belt mindset up here. And again, what I tell my mentees a lot about, got that black belt determination and discipline, because understanding that you will need that discipline and determination and resilience, grit, to overcome all these obstacles, which seems to happen, whether or not it's during the original purchasing, the conveyancing, during the refurb, dealing with trades, and obviously utility providers as well. Council tax, they can cause headaches as well. And then, the conveyancing when it comes to the refinance and so on. So again, you've got to make sure you've got that professional mindset really, and understand how it's not just what you'll see on YouTube, how to earn £1 million in 90 days or anything like that. Or you could have a £5 million portfolio by the end of the year if you do these three things. I'll teach it. I'm a qualified lecturer. Don't know if I mentioned that at the start. So I teach it in a broken down way to allow people to understand it a little bit more, and hopefully help them progress from, like I said, new white belt property investor through to black belt and beyond really. Like I said, check out the Black Belt Property Academy. Check out my website, dervishdervish.com, if you think it's something that you will need and benefit from. Deed of guarantee. So again, we need to, that's pretty much the personal guarantee there really. So there's 2 copies, if I think, 2 copies there, one for me and my wife. So you'll need to make sure that you're signing that deed of guarantee. One thing I've probably not mentioned is how much does personal guarantee / independent legal advice cost. For us, our local solicitors, it's £300 for both of us. And for the solicitors that we're dealing with over in Leeds, they said obviously that we could use them as well. They must have another partner or something like that. And their prices were, I think it was £250 for the first director plus VAT, and then £100 for the other director plus VAT. So altogether it cost £420. So we're choosing to use ours at £300 versus us at £420. Obviously the £120 is better in our business account, but just to give you a bit of an idea of the figures that you need to pay. So those are the deed of guarantees and so on, personal guarantees. Then we go on to this letter here where they're just talking about, I'm going to obviously not include our company name, but dear Mr. Dervish, RE remortgage of, then the property address. As you may know, when a company intends to enter into certain arrangements, such as a new mortgage, it must first hold a meeting of its directors, and then, if the plan is approved, pass a resolution. Both the minutes of the meeting and the struggling there, wasn't I? Resolution should be formally recorded. So again, what I was mentioning, I think that was one of the first attachments. Those are the board. That's the board meeting that we need to have. Yes, just me and my wife to agree that this is what we're going to do. And Black's solicitors will need a copy of that. And then what else have we got here? It's an exciting video, this, isn't it? There's nobody driving Lambos. There's nobody walking around or anything like that. But again, I'm just giving you boring information, but essential information. And what's this last one there as well? Oh, that's just minutes of the meeting, really. So again, unsure whether that provided anybody with any value, but when it comes to refinancing, you've always got to look to yourself, if I'm managing to pull lots of money out, don't then go and spend it on a liability. Obviously, treat yourself a little bit if you want to, but the purpose for us is to pull money out to then reinvest in another cash flowing property, which is hopefully going to grow in value over time and keep that mortgage fixed, and obviously let inflation erode away the mortgage again. Father time there. So I hope you found a little bit of value from this video. I know it was very dry and boring. Well done if you've got, like, I don't know, 10-12 minutes into it. But the purpose of refinancing is, some of my mentees say, I don't know whether to refinance because my cash flow will go down from 450 to 250 and then that £200. I understand that. Again, those are the feelings that I had years ago. It's that mindset. If your cash flow does reduce by £200 per calendar month times 12, so it's going to reduce 2,400 over a year. Let's just call it £2,500. It's going to reduce by £2,500, but you might be able to pull 20,000 out of the property. So therefore, it's going to take what's it going to take? Okay, get my bloody maths wrong here. 2,500 a year. So that's 5, 7, 10. It's going to take 8 years. Going all digits there, wasn't I? It's going to take 8 years for you to access that £20,000 through that cash flow, or just pull it out of the property. If you do pull it out of the property, though, remember, like I tell all my mentees or advise them to, pull it out, but then reinvest it into something, because it's always about, for us, yes, you want that passive income, of course you do. Yes, it's nice to have that cash flow buffer, well done, but you also want to make sure that your money's working hard for you, okay? Check out another video I've probably done on here, return on capital employed. Maybe check out, like I said, my website, have a look at a few blogs there that I've done. Return on capital employed, you always want that to be as high as possible. Okay, definitely infinite. If you get to that infinite, well done. And if you're watching this after February 2026, invest in a copy of my book. Now, I've got 2 books. This is, let's have a look there. That one is for anybody, again, martial arts school owners. That was the first one. But there are some, I advise my property mentees to obviously invest in a copy of that, because it will cover a lot about mindset, stats, metrics to track. And again, it will help you structure and build the business framework. But like I said, if you're watching this after February 2026, invest in a copy of my property book. Should be available on my website. If not, have a look on Amazon. Check out, Dervish might be under Dervish Black Belt Property Academy, and I'm sure you will be able to find it. Anyway, make sure you hit that subscribe button. But if you're after no fluff, honest advice, and obviously mentoring, I teach property the way I taught karate for over 25 years. Disciplined, structured, because I want people to progress as they move through each of the property belts, okay? So yeah, check out the Black Belt Property Academy. Make sure you subscribe, and good luck. Keep getting up, keep showing up, and keep investing in this mindset. That's always the best investment you can ever make. Invest in yourself. Good luck. Take care.